Welcome to the broadcast. Let's give people another 10 seconds to get on this broadcast and we'll get right to work. So welcome everybody, bienvenue à tout le monde. So we're on number 26, Friday morning workout number 26. So we're on a roll. As always, this is our time to train, to talk, and to communicate. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down there and we'll answer them on the fly today or later tonight or tomorrow. And whether you're watching this video live right now with me or tonight later, if you have comments, questions, this is why we're doing this, to help you get the goals and results that you want. So, let's start. Today, as you know, each Friday morning workout starts with a lesson, an important lesson. And today, it's like something that's affecting everyone. It's a disease, a big disease, and it affects everybody. I call it the sitting disease. We all sit too much. We sit in the car to travel. We sit at work. We sit on the couch to watch a show or television. On public transportation, on a bus, on a metro. We are really, really good at sitting. If you take the time to think about how many hours a day do you spend sitting, maybe you can write that down in the comments. How many hours a day do you spend sitting? Now, I spend all my days standing, standing and moving. To move is always better to sit. The old saying, use it or lose it, baby. You need to use your body, or else you'll almost like an old piece of iron, or like a mechanism, like a vehicle or any other type of object that will rust and seize up on you like a ball joint. You don't want that, and you don't want that happening to your body, but this is what's happening to most people. Lower back pain is caused by too much sitting. Too much sitting in one position, where your legs, your body, and your quads and your shins in that 90-degree. Not good for your hip flexors. And if your quads are very tight, as you know, like our whole body is, it's like a yin and yang. It's fully balanced. The size of your biceps are in direct correlation to the size of your triceps. And the power of your quads are only balanced by the power of your hamstrings. So if your quads are very tight, because you're sitting and you're stuck in that position, you're rusting in that position, and you don't want that. And that puts too much stress and pulling on your lower back. And that's usually the cause of lower back pain. So today, because this is so prevalent in our society, that we're all sitters, remember that before, many years ago, no chairs. So if you had to go to the bathroom, you had to squat, right? Squat all the way down to do that. And games were played from the squat position. So squatting low has to be part of your daily routine. And just doing what I did, most people I meet or train, they can't even do that. So don't be that person that can't do a full, deep squat. So I just want to adjust the camera, make sure you can see me well doing these exercises. I'm not sure this one. See what that, like, am I good here? We might have to readjust, like if you can't see it. So what you should be able to do is feet slightly out. If your feet were square, you move them out about 10 degrees, right? 10 degrees out. And then if you want to try this with me, right now, if you have the space and if you're free to do so, I'm very curious. So as you squat back, get your butt out and come down as low as you can. Nice and low, nice and deep, very comfortable position for me to be in. So very low, and my feet are flat. And this is my position. Are you able to hold this position easily for 5-10 minutes? So that's your first test. How low can you go? And once you can do that, with your arms raised above you, are you able to keep your arms straight, or are you leaning forward because of lack of flexibility? So once you can squat down with your legs only, then reach for the ceiling as high as you can, nice and vertical, and then go all the way down and do your arms stay vertical. That's the first one. So we said if I'm sitting, my legs are at a 90 degree all the time, all day. So very tight quads. So we need to open up. I'll show you the best exercise to relieve lower back pain at the end. So the first one, again, is this one, very low. And you can push with your elbow inside your knee to open up the hip. Push and open up the hip. Nice and loose and very comfortable. All right, so this is my position. Once that feels good, you can grab your hand and grab your own ankle and just push and pry and just open up this knee a little bit, all right? And do this on both sides. Are you able to do that, all right? Open up nice and loose and nice and low. Then what you can do is you can reach for the ceiling. Nice and straight. And this side. Staying inside your knees. Stretch. So this is your first exercise. Can you do this? Number one. Then we need to release the hamstrings. Because of that tightness in our quads, we need to really exercise our hamstrings. So this one, like what you'll do is you're in the same position. You'll grab onto your ankles. And as you go down, keep your elbows and arms inside the thighs and push up. Down. Get your butt nice and low and push up and stretch. Do as many as you can of these, 5 to 10, 15 reps. And let me know how it feels. You're going to feel a work in your hamstring differently than if you did any type of other squatting movement. That's one. 2, your leg is at a 90 degree when you're sitting. So this quad is tight. So I just want you to go on one knee and just push forward. As you push forward, you're trying to get this left hip as low as you can and stretch this area. If you can grab your own foot and do the same movement and stretch, it's even more extreme. But you're trying to release this quad right here as you push down. And just stretch. It doesn't have to be a strenuous. Just go into that position and hold it and breathe deeply. And as you breathe, try to visualize your breath. As you stretch, you visualize the breath going into that tense area and it releases it. It's important to do that type of visualization with the breath as you're stretching, especially if you hit a spot that is very tense, very tight. So breathe into that tightness and then release it. So these are the next exercise. Next, let's say you can't do the squat because you're so stiff and you're such a great sitter that you can't go all the way down. No problem. Use a stool or a bench and put your hands on it and just try to slowly go down and try to get to this low position, but gradually building it up. We should all be able to do this squat position because all humans did that movement in prehistoric days. Being able to go very low was very important. Going to the bathroom. Let's say you were magically whisked away to those times and you can't go down. You would look pretty awkward like going for number 2. You agree? All right, last one is a bench. Any chair or a bench This one, feet out. And for me, like this is the best one for your back and stretching your hips. Bow forward, get your elbows inside. You can wrap your own ankles if you want, or just put your hands down and stretch as low as you can. This is simple, but very important. Same idea, you can open and stretch, open and stretch, but get as low as you can. Once you're good at that one, you come back to this one and you're trying to put your hands down and trying to reach your head. So see how I'm using both my fists, one on top of the other. I'm keeping my squat and I'm trying to just bow down and touch my forehead to my fist. If you take the time to go through these basic exercises, you will really increase range of movement. And if you have any type of back pain, as you do these exercises, you'll feel getting stronger and less pain. If you don't have any pain, but you're a sitter and you sit a lot, and again, most people today oversit. It's just unbelievable. Use these as preventative exercises to avoid having any type of back pain. If in your work you're somewhere where somebody else, another employee or like a coworker, has been working at that job for 10, 20, 30 years, it would be a good idea to look at them. What do they physically look like? So if they're overweight, if they have pain, then that just gives you an idea of what you might look like if you continue to do nothing and continue to sit like maybe that other person is doing. So be very aware of that. You don't want to be lacking movement, mobility, and you don't want any pain. Do you agree with that? I don't want any pain. I want to be pain-free and strong. The very last exercise you can do to open up your hips and to stretch your lower back is something called alternating right to left with a slight twist. Your feet are wide, and as you go down to your left knee, very low like that, so it almost looks like the same position as the double squat, but just on one side, and pick up the toe here and try to sit. So stay very low on your left leg, try to get your elbows down to the mat. Your foot could be on the side, but your toe points up and go down nice and low. Stretch your hamstring and then push yourself back up and do the same thing on the other side. Stretch and get really, really low and sit. Stretch and do repetitions from side to side. I'm really focusing my lesson on this today because I see it often. I see lots of people having issues with back pain, lower back pain. Use it or lose it. It's up to you. I want you to avoid pitfalls, avoid problems. I want you to age with grace, age and build an armor, build some muscle, build range of movement. Then when you do get older, you don't have the same ailments or pain as other people in your family maybe. So we're not made to sit, right? And we're not made to suffer, and we're not made to have any pain. Be aware daily of how much sitting do you do, and then get off of it. Almost like if someone's addicted to any type of drugs or alcohol, well, I want you to get off of that drug or habit of sitting. You are not a sitter. You stand and you move. Do these exercises. I guarantee you will have less pain. Now be smart. Use common sense. If you just had back surgery, maybe not the best exercise to do. Use your head. But if you're in somewhat of a healthy state, but you don't want to have any back pain, do the exercises. If you have some pain or stiffness, usually happens because of tight quads, and use and do the exercises I showed you. You'll thank me for it later. Do the exercises. Don't just watch them. Comments, questions, and feedback. Do it for a week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 30 days. And I'm very curious on your results. And last, the feeling. When you do these exercises in like 5 minutes, you really feel like you're opening up channels in the body and lots of blockages in the center of the body. And we don't want that. We want everything to flow, the blood flowing, and all those, your nervous system, everything is well connected, and your machine is well oiled and ready for the work. So do the work, do the movement, do the exercises, and let me know. I'll try to post maybe a quick diagram like with pictures so you can easily revisit it in the future. But don't wait for that. Take action, do it, and I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Again, master yourself. Move, do not sit. And I'll see you next week.